Alrighty, so the second game of the doubleheader is in the books, and we actually have one more game left in terms of the first round playoff matchup this season in MLS, at least for game one. That is between Atlanta versus Columbus that will finish off on Wednesday. But in terms of this game, well, the Seattle Sounders they continue their dominance over FC Dallas. So as I mentioned before for Dallas, this is probably the worst opponent that they want to face because we talk about how they simply has this Cascadia curse where it doesn't matter if they meet the Seattle Sounders or the Portland Timbers, they're probably going to get eliminated against them, and they're not going to play well against them, and it kind of continue in this one. Though I will say that Dallas they had their moments in this game, but the old saying goes is that when you're the underdogs, you have to take advantage of the chances that you're given, and Dallas had those chances that they were given, and they didn't take it. And as a result, it was no surprise to the Seattle Sounders when they did have their moment, they took it and eventually getting all 3 points, or at least in this case, getting the big game one win to now set up a chance to move on into the next round if they can beat FC Dallas on the road. Now, early on, Seattle had a lot some possession, but the shots were 1-0 through 10 minutes as expected. Things has been tight. Again, if you were coming into this game and you expect there's some crazy things that's going to happen on both ends, yeah, this is probably not the game you want to tune in because both of these teams are more of a defensive set teams, and I just had a feeling this was maybe going to be one of those series where it's going to be relatively tight, and there's probably not going to be a lot of goals, maybe just one goal that will separate between both of these teams in this best of three series. Though in the 17th minute, there was some huge concern for FC Dallas as Velasco had to be subbed off with a knee injury as Frazier replaced him. Later on, it looks like it was reported that he had a left knee contusion on his knee, and we'll see if he is going to be back with this team in game two. And they hope he does because that is a huge loss for FC Dallas. I mean, I talk about how big of a loss it was when they lost Kamungo, which the good news for them is that he was still able to come off the bench in this game for FC Dallas. But now the bad news is that Velasco could be out if he isn't able to be ready for game two. And keep in mind, it's a very short rest for both of these teams because, as is one of the biggest criticism in terms of this first round best of three series, some teams get incredibly amount of rest between game one and game two, and then there are some teams that doesn't get too much rest, and Seattle and Dallas are one of those teams. So yeah, they don't have Velasco available in that game two for FC Dallas. That is definitely maybe the death knell for FC Dallas in terms of their chances of beating Seattle in game two and force a game three. Though in 18 minute, Tensio would hit it right to pass before Fry denied Fira as he was in on goal there. Yeah, that's one that Jesus Ferreira has to take advantage. I mean, I know Stephen Fry made a big save here, but that's one that Ferreira, a guy that has always been labeled as a guy that can't steps up in the big moments. This was his chance to trying to to silence those narrative, and nope. Instead, he missed that opportunity. So on the other end, Paz was able to deny Paulo from long range, and finally, chances were started to come for both of these teams after it was relatively uneventful first 20 minutes. Both goalkeeper had to make some big save, and then in the 26th minute, to make matters worse for Fira and his narrative of can't show up in big games. Here we go again. He missed an absolute sitter from close as he puts it high from close. And I mean, will that chance come back to haunt Fiera and FC Dallas? Because those are two really good chances and golden opportunity for Dallas to get the opening goal. And especially when you get against a team that you not only have not done well against, but you are the underdog, you have to take advantage of chances. And I just had a feeling that was going to come back to haunt FC Dallas. On the other end, Paz would deny Paulo from close before Rodon would heads it wide from close range. Seattle was started generating some chances, and they were looking for the opener. There was a shout for a penalty not given to Seattle, but then there was another shout for a penalty in the 43rd minute, and this time it was given. It was Farfan, the one that brought down Rodon in the box. No doubt that was a penalty. I mean, you can clearly see that Farfan is let me made contact with Rodon. There, he was trying to step in to win the ball, didn't get it, so that's a stone cold penalty. And here's Albert Rusnak, the one that stepped in to take the penalty. Remember, no Ludero and Rui Diaz starting in this game. Both of them came off the bench, so Rusnak steps up to take the penalty. And well, he just about finished that penalty because Martin Paz he looked like he was guessed it well he guessed it the right way and looks like he was going to keep that one out, but just a little bit too much power from Rusnak is the reason why Paz wasn't able to keep that out, and Seattle was leading 1-0 as that was the scoreline heading into the second half. Now the second half, not much really happened in the second half, at least in the first 15 minutes, which I thought that favorites the Seattle Sounders. Rusnak would then blast it high from close, as I thought the Sounders were starting to create some chances and looking to try to kill this game off. Rodon would then miss wide from long range, but in the 73rd minute, they do kill this game off as Jordan Morris would score from Nuhu and Ladero to make it 2-0 in favor of the Sounders. There was a question whether or not if Nuhu was in an onside position. In fact, they kind of did check the VAR. Well, actually, they checked VAR for two things. One was whether or not if Nuhu was in an offside position, which on the replay he was not. And the second thing they did check is that after the goal was scored, there was definitely some pushing and shoving that was going on between both these teams, and that there was definitely a check for violent conduct, potentially, and maybe a sending off after the goal was scored and that coming together happened. No red card was shown after that, and yeah, the goal was good. So that gives the Sounders a 2-0 lead. Atencio then looked for a third, but he missed wide there in the 83rd minute before Dante Sealy looked to get one back for Dallas, but he puts it right to Fry, and then Ruidíaz. This would have been a great way for Seattle to cap off the night, and especially excites the fans in attendance. But he hits one right to Paz, misses opportunity to score a goal and score what would have been his 11th playoff goal in his career with the Seattle Sounders. But in the end, the Sounders they win 2-0 against FC Dallas. The shots in this one, 19 shots for the 10 that Dallas had, 4 shots on goal for the 6 that Seattle has, 4 shots on target for the 5 that Seattle has, 8 shots that was blocked for the 2 that Dallas had, and possession-wise, the Sounders had more of the possession, 57% possession compared to 43% possession that Dallas has in this game. So yeah, again, relatively a comfortable win for the Seattle Sounders. They take game one and now has the upper hand heading into game two as the series shift to Toyota Park in Dallas. But for FC Dallas again, those missed opportunity that's going to come back to haunt them. But now you're just going to have to move on and hope that you can get the win at home against the Sounders team. I mean, one thing again, I'm still concerned about this Dallas team is where in the world is the goal is going to come from, and they're hoping that Kumungo could be ready for that game. I think the reason why he wasn't ready wasn't because he was still recovering from that injury that he suffered on decision day, but mainly because they didn't want to play him on turf because of the knee injury that he suffered against the Galaxy on decision day. But I expect he probably could be ready for that game against the Sounders at home. And that, yeah, again, there's also the question of the health of Alan Velasco. Again, if they lose Velasco, he's pretty much the main playmaker of this team. Again, that's a huge loss for this Dallas team, and maybe one that you could say that maybe might be season set and match for this Dallas team, and certainly this attack to now really have to score a goal and absolutely need to win in that game against Seattle to force game 3 in this series. But yeah, either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button. As always, let me know in the comments below what do you think of this game and this review. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button. And yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.